Ask the truth to the damning allegations that DA Federal Chairperson Helen Zille keeps files on prominent Black Party members. This comes after former Eastern Cape leader Nqaba Banga accused Zille of racism and working with the ANC to get rid of him. The official opposition has refuted the claims and subsequently served Banga with a notice of suspension from the DA activities. Joining us now to make sense of these worrying developments is the new Eastern Cape leader, Andrew Whitfield. Good to have you, and thank you very much for your time, Andrew, once again tonight here on In Focus. So the claims seems to have been posted on social media. I don't know whether this was a poorly recorded post, maybe now it is written, or it was deliberately put this way.
Well, we've confirmed that it was deliberate. It hasn't been removed. It was absolutely intentional, and it was done without any evidence. No evidence has been provided to support these outrageous and defamatory claims against Ms. Helen Zille. And equally, no evidence has been provided to support the allegations that files are kept on certain members of the DA. And so it is very difficult to speculate what has led Mr. Banga to behave in this irrational manner, because it is really contrary to his character and his track record of non-racialism and his commitment to raising issues inside the DA structures. This behavior is certainly very unusual.
Yeah. Mr. Banga says Helen Zille, for example, was in Gqeberha on the Friday night in furtherance of what he says is this working together with the ANC to get rid of him. How true is that?
Well, it's completely untrue, and Ms. Zille can prove that she wasn't, in fact, in Gqeberha at all on Friday. She certainly has denied that she's conducted any investigation into any DA member. She's not empowered to do that. The Federal Legal Commission of the DA is empowered to do that. This really appears to be a paranoid ranting of the former provincial leader. As I said, it's deeply disappointing. It has affected me personally as a close colleague of Nqaba's for a number of years, somebody, including Ms. Zille, who have supported Nqaba through thick and thin in his personal troubles, as well as in his professional career. We've been there to support him, and so we cannot make sense of why he would put himself in this situation, both politically and legally, to make such outrageous and defamatory comments without any evidence being supplied to support his claims. It really is bewildering.
Yeah. Is this driven in part by the fact that, I suppose, is he firstly being investigated himself in terms of his properties and issues that pertain to him?
Well, no, he's not being investigated. I mean, it's completely outrageous. As I said, he's provided no evidence to that effect. However, once you call somebody a racist and you play the race card and you don't provide any evidence to support that, and you do that publicly, you put yourself in a very difficult legal position in the one instance. So I'm certain that legal action may be taken against him by Ms. Zille if she chooses to do that. But certainly politically, it's in contravention of the standards of conduct of DA members. I'm sure that most people would appreciate that you can't just go around calling people racists. So we've issued Mr. Banga with a notice of intention to suspend his membership in the Eastern Cape. He needs to reply to us by tomorrow, and we'll consider his reply if he does reply and decide whether or not to proceed with suspension. But we've also referred the entire matter to the DA's Federal Legal Commission for a formal investigation into his outrageous outburst and his allegations that he's made on social media. And so that process is obviously underway as well.
So we were under the impression at some point that you were unable to serve him the papers in person. So how did he actually receive these papers, and did he actually acknowledge receipt of these of this note of suspension?
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. We did appoint the sheriff to personally and formally hand over those documents to him. So we will get return of service tomorrow. We have also emailed Mr. Banga the notice of intention to suspend. But I think also what's important, Thabo, is that yesterday when we communicated that we had resolved to initiate this process, Mr. Banga wrote to me to apologize for his conduct and to accept the suspension preemptively. Sadly, today he's now gone on to take interviews in the media and continued with his irrational behavior. So we're not sure what to make of it. We are waiting the formal return of service from the sheriff tomorrow, and we will take it from there.
At a personal level, as you say, you've closely worked with him and you actually know each other at that level. Did you reach out to him in that sense to say he must either retract or remove that particular post, and what was his response?
Well, I spoke to him before he did it. He indicated to me that he was upset about some information that he'd heard from some of his former ANC colleagues, which is information always best treated with great suspicion, but nonetheless, he contacted me. In that phone call, regrettably, he was largely incoherent. I couldn't really make heads or tails of what he was saying. However, he did say that he would like to speak to me in person and that he wanted to go public, but he would not go public out of respect for our relationship, our friendship over the years, and our collegial relationship that we've built. Sadly, 2 hours later, he then went onto social media to post these claims without any evidence, any courtesy to the party or to myself or any of his colleagues. Our provincial chairperson contacted him and confirmed with him that, well, he certainly confirmed, Nqaba confirmed that he did post the information, and then he hung up the phone. He demonstrated no contrition, really. His apology that he sent to me personally yesterday is not worth much when today he went out and simply repeated the claims that he's made. So we are deeply worried about his personal state of mind. This is very uncharacteristic. I'm not sure what it is that is troubling him personally, but I fear that he is deeply troubled. I'm worried about his personal situation, and I hope that he gets the help that he needs. But we have a duty to protect our party, our constitution, our rules, and all other members of the DA who are required to abide by those rules. And nobody, including myself, is immune from those rules, and that includes former provincial leaders like Mr. Banga.
You're saying he's deeply troubled. You're talking about personal issues because it's already in the public domain, and it seems to be quoted quite broadly. It's in the Daily Maverick. The chairperson of the Federal Council says that I'm only rather trying to get Nqaba Banga to go into rehabilitation for his alcohol addiction, as he promised he would. Is that the issue at hand?
Well, Nqaba has been offered assistance by the DA to deal with his personal issues, amongst which appears to be a problem with alcohol. This is not an uncommon problem in South Africa, and the DA has procedures and processes to assist people. He has chosen not to take up that offer of assistance in any meaningful way whatsoever. As I say, on a personal level, we really hope that he does get the help that he needs. But at the same time, that doesn't excuse his behavior and the unapologetic nature of his conduct since he posted those defamatory comments on social media on Saturday.
And what is the process that must be undergone as per the rules of the party now in terms of removing him from all responsibility?
Well, firstly, the DA in the Eastern Cape will decide this week whether to suspend him on the basis of whether he responds to our notice of intention to suspend him. That's a procedural matter. We will have to reconvene our provincial executive to decide that. His suspension means that he will be suspended from all party political duties. We cannot suspend him from his legislative duties. That is not within our purview as a political party. However, he would be removed from all party responsibilities, including his constituency, amongst others. And then the investigation by the Federal Legal Commission is out of our hands as a province. That is dealt with at a national level by our independent legal body, the Federal Legal Commission, which would then determine what kind of investigation needs to be conducted. Mr. Banga would then have the opportunity to present his case, as would Mozilla or any other witnesses to this deeply, deeply disappointing incident.
Andrew Whitfield, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on tonight. That's the Eastern Cape leader of the Democratic Alliance there on the notice to suspend Nqaba Banga. Of course, efforts to reach out to him to get a comment were not successful, but of course we keep on trying. In Focus continues shortly.